This whole tour has truly been about the connection, about tango, about finding a family and a community everywhere I go, about the people that have opened up their homes to me, have shared their space with me and their time. This is my tentative route for my U.S. book and tango road trip tour. I plan to make my way down the west coast from Seattle, across the south, and down, all the way down to Florida, up the east coast, into Canada, Montreal, Toronto, and then back across the Midwest. Miles on my car, my odometer, and I'm here in Idaho. I'm driving through Boise National Forest, and it's a pretty amazing, stunning landscape. Pretty cool place to celebrate 100,000 miles with my baby. Well, all but the first 18,000. So, yay for us. And that means we started with about 83,300 or so miles and on the car, so that means that we've traveled about 17,000 miles.
Where Gabriela starts her nationwide tour selling books on how to tango. 1 + 1 = 3, was it? I can't remember what it was. 1, that's right, yeah. I've only looked at the bookmark once. So here we are, the two of us in front of hopefully what will be her new hand. Except for that squeal. You don't want to
We're testing. I'm leaving Tempe and heading to Tucson. Tempe was the first place that I have never been to before, so that's pretty exciting. And it went really well. Everybody was super nice, and the only thing is there's this crazy freak, like apocalyptic storm as I was getting close to Phoenix, and I was just in the middle of nowhere, nothing around, and like lightning coming down. It's kind of crazy. I'm hanging out here at Ina Firestone in Tucson, and Jonathan, the manager, and everybody here has been kind enough to sponsor my car, or my car's oil change, our first oil change on the road. So it makes it a lot easier to get around the country with kind people helping me out. So here's Firestone. Where's a good sign? Here we go. Thank you, Firestone. Driving from Augusta to Atlanta, Georgia. We're close to Madison, Virginia. Driving to Richmond from Chapel Hill, Durham area. Hanging out in the Triangle. There was no whitewater rafting?
No, the business closed down. It was something with their insurance or their agreement with the city. No, they're going to be franchise back.
And what's this area called again? We're in Richmond, Virginia.
Well, I just call it the pipeline, but it's the James River.
Hello. Hi. Just making my way across Highway 113 in Maine, the beautiful state of Maine, on the other end of the universe from Seattle. What are your favorite things about living here in Kentucky? You've lived in 14 states, so your opinion is, founded in in some life experience.
I do think it's beautiful. I love the rolling hills, and I love the horse farms, and I just like the rivers and everything. It's just so pretty. The people are amazingly friendly and easy, and for the most part incredibly honest, straightforward, which I like. It has some southern charm that all the kind of big city features that you like. We have wonderful restaurants, we have lots of music opportunities and lots of art. And I am just a little ambassador for Kentucky, I guess.
If the water's too high.
Yeah, if it's too high or if it's too low, they have problems.
Disconnectors, as you can see. I have this on my hat, Stop the I-75 Connector. And there's this little card that I made up, says, stop the waste of $400 million, stop the loss of our farmland and scenic beauty, join with the disconnectors.
Driving into Tennessee now. You're in the mountains. I believe Cumberland Mountains, or at least part of them are called Cumberland Mountains, near Cumberland Lake, which was in Kentucky.
Only in the saline wetlands of Lancaster and Saunders counties in Nebraska. Nowhere else in the world.
This beetle.
This beetle right here.
I think that's the Colorado River. There's a river down below. Just heading north on 191.
In a half mile, turn left onto the I-70 West Ranch.
One of the most politically diverse places in America.
Yes, and even if you go down the roads from one house to the next, President Obama, Mitt Romney, you'll see the signs alternating.
It feels so small to be in between all these canyons. Amazing feeling. One thing that I've noticed is that if you ask people, they'll tell you their stories. Hi, I'm here in Albuquerque at JoJo's Salsa Machine with Jose Lavalle.
Nice to meet you.
And Jose's been telling me about his tamales. He makes like all kinds of blue and chocolate and cornmeal. And tell me about your favorite kind.
My favorite kind would have to be the Bavarian cream and the dark chocolate. It's with pineapple infused masa. We grind the masa down from white corn. It's all handmade, 100%. We try to get the corn from local farmers, but of course in the winter it's really hard, so we typically get it from Mexico. We add a little bit of coconut oil just to make the masa stick together. The pineapple also helps it stick together, but dark chocolate.
Sounds like a dessert.
Is you got to show love. You can't just, we're all the same people. You got to show love. Work with each other, and if you do that, I guarantee you're going to go farther than working against each other.
Absolutely. Started off in corporate America doing benefits consulting, and figured I wanted to do something a little different, and ended up in the restaurant business. So go figure.
Okay, all right. And was this so you guys already had a catering company going on?
That's kind of how everything kind of started off. It was just a hobby. Like I said, it's a hobby of mine. We were doing.
You love to cook, I hear.
Okay. And so things started kind of to roll along, and we actually started the company as a catering company, and then it moved into a retail storefront that we have here now.
Anything else that you want to tell people about your restaurant in particular, or about the restaurant business, or
okay, restaurant business is hard.
inspiring young viewers?
Okay, restaurant business is hard. Do not get fooled by TV, Food Network, celebrity chef. That's all, That's like, being a NBA. That's like trying to become LeBron James or Alex Rodriguez in baseball. That's how hard that is. And about our food that I could tell you from bottom of my heart, as sincere as I can, is I feed my kids. My parents eat here. I eat here. My wife calls me almost every night asking for the kids' lunch for tomorrow. So we are what we eat, which means it's healthiest, the best, freshest.
Now, all this vegetation that you see, this is sawgrass here.
dies and it'll fall to the bottom.
Okay, we're on our way to Tasty Tuesdays here in Portland. Where am I? Orlando.
Orlando.
Orlando. Walking into random bars, and I hear that there are some chicken and waffles. Chicken and waffles.
When we first opened, the third room in the gallery has a tile floor, and so we used that for a tango milonga in conjunction with every opening at the gallery. I would invite the tango community, and we would have a tango milonga, and the other visitors were fascinated. And then for about 6 months, I taught beginner tango in that room once a week.
That sounds fantastic.
And that was my contribution. I simply contributed the floor fee. I took no instructor fee to make it very affordable, and the floor fee was contributed directly to the gallery. So that helped to sustain the gallery during the first year.
That's beautiful. I love it. Everybody contributes in their own way. I'm just wondering, like, I'm seeing this long line of people over here, and I'm wondering, is it worth it?
Oh, it's definitely worth it. I mean, I come here all the time.
You come here all the time?
I love this place, yeah. I got the salted cracked caramel, and I get the same thing every time.
Is my nephew here? Anytime he's here visiting me, we come and have a scoop of ice cream.
Oh, nice. So it's like a tradition.
Yeah.
Nice. You're pretty happy about that, huh, Cameron? Okay, well, now I have incentive to go wait in line. Thank you, guys. Enjoy. ZZA. It's APIZZA.
Modern Appease. Yeah, Modern Appease.
So why was it scared?
Because you don't see where you're going.
That's why
he has partners.
It's just the idea of two people kind of fitting together. And some people say it's amoebas, they don't understand other people, whatever you want. Do this way, it can be a flower. But the idea that two people can fit together, and not necessarily because you're touching, but because you want to be together, right? This book is inspired by Tango. So Tango, the dance, is a metaphor for life. And the idea of bringing something more to the table can be kind of confusing for women in the dance, because a lot of times we talk about lead and follow. I'm driving around the United States, started in Seattle, going back to Seattle, and I'm promoting my book called When 1 + 1 = 1, inspired by Tango, the dance. Anybody heard of that? Yeah. And how I understand people based on Tango. So this poem I want to share with you guys comes from a section called Take Your Sweet Time. You ever wish somebody would take their time a little bit?
Honey.
Yes.
Well, this isn't about that, but it's moving just in the Sometimes we move just to move, because we don't know how to live the stillness. We keep running from one appointment to another. We dance sequence after sequence because we don't know how to stop, because we don't know how to just be. So we do things to fill up time, we make jokes to fill the silences, and we speak empty words. See, we can get to a place of 50-50, where the connection feels so fluid that it doesn't matter who needs what, but that we move together. Where my body and my partner's body are one. Where together we are one entity. Where my legs are his legs are mine, and we have one heartbeat between us. And even for just 3 minutes, we let go of our decisions to think about everything else. We let go of our fears, not knowing who's in charge. We put it together, we feel each other, we share our souls.
I mean, we talk about conversation and tango, but so often it tends to be one way where I get to lead stuff and then leave space maybe for embellishments. And I like when it really becomes two-way.
What about when I want to change directions? I might want to show intention, kind of like lead up to it.
Right there. When we were doing it, we like stop and then we start moving in a different direction.
We got a brand new dance. Oh, oh, oh. Down, come on. Yeah. Now let me down, do you get to that new style, yeah. They say I'm a rapper, and I say no. Come on. Say what you doing, trying to do somebody go. I just let the music come from my soul, so all of my people can stay on the floor. They got a brand new dance. You gotta move your muscle. Brand new dance. It's called a Cupid Shuffle. It don't matter if you're young or you're old. Here we go. We gon' show you how it goes. To the right, to